Okay, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. My name is Nicole and I'm a person in long-term recovery. My sobriety date is July 13th of 2015 and tonight I cannot find my damn big book. I don't know what I did with it, but the show must go on. So I figure what we'll do is tonight we'll do a 24-hour a day meditation together. And so that's what we'll do. So y'all come on in. Drop your sobriety date in the comment section. If you're not sober yet, that's okay to share with us what you're struggling with and list 2 things that you're grateful for. I'll go first. So I follow this guy here on TikTok and I think he lives in like Paraguay or something like that. He makes videos about the people there and their living conditions. And he was showing this small house that 10 people lived in. And it was basically built out of trash, you guys. And I was thinking, damn man, we are so lucky here in the United States to have all the things that we have. I don't even think some of us I think all of us kind of take it for granted, all the amazing things that we have here and how amazing our lives are. So yeah, if you're ever struggling and you're feeling bad for yourself, go look at the people in the third world countries, the way they live, okay? And then come back over here and realize how grateful you should be for what you have. Because honey, there's somebody out there who always has it worse than you. So, what's today's date? August. It's today August. What's today's date, you guys? If you don't mind me asking, I don't even know. August 8th. August 8th. Okay, good. Come on in, we're gonna do a meditation, y'all. Meditation of the day. So here we go, August 8th. For a while, we are going back to the book, Alcoholics Anonymous, and pick out passages here and there so that they may become fixed in our minds. A little at a time, day by day, as we go along. There is no substitute for reading. It is our Bible, the big book, you guys. We should study it thoroughly and make it a part of our lives. We should not try to change any of it. Within its covers is the full exposition of the AA program. There is no substitute for it. We should study it often. Meditation for the day. All of life is a fluctuation between effort and rest. You need both every day. But effort is not truly effective until first you have had the proper preparation for it, by resting in a time of quiet meditation. This daily time of rest and meditation gives you the power necessary to make your best effort. There are days when you are called on for much effort, and then comes a time when you need much rest. It is not good to rest too long, and it is not good to carry on great effort too long without rest. The successful life is a proper balance between the two. Okay, y'all, so that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, balance. That's what we're talking about, balance. So how do you find proper balance in your life? Okay, how do you decide, how do you find that, you guys? I don't know. I'm still trying to find, thank you. Thanks, beloved. I'm still trying to find balance in my life, you know? I think when you first get into recovery, like, it's really hard because you went from a life of total just like fucked upness to living your life sober. So it can be like a really hard transition, you know? The longer you stay sober, the easier it gets. Just like I'm trying to find balance in my life with social media. You guys, this social media shit can be hella addicting. And the next thing you know, you find yourself on your phone all day long. And you haven't even been connected to anyone in your life. You've just been on the phone watching social media. You know, it is so hard to find that balance. And when I finally find balance, okay, I think that I'm a little out of balance because I do put a huge effort into my social media, but it's for a good cause. It's to help people, you know, it's to help people, and it also helps me. But I feel like the perfect balance would be me having like a set time, like I try to do here every night at 7:30. I go live, where I go live and then I shut it off. Okay? And see, that's where my balance is out of whack. Because baby, I go live and then I don't shut it off. I go live, I sit here and I talk with you guys for about an hour, and then I find myself scrolling for like 6 more hours, you know? And so that might seem like it's not a big deal, but it is, because I need to be in the now. I need to be focusing on how I can be of service to others, how I can take care of my son, how I can be a good wife to my husband, how I can take care of myself, right? Oh, you're welcome, Justin. Anytime, man. I tell me y'all aren't the only ones who struggle with balance, especially when it comes to social media. In my relationship with my husband, I was laying in bed with him the other night, and I was telling him, we need to have a sexy time date. And he's like, what? And I'm like, we need to have a date night, you know? And it's because we spend so much time being parents that we forget about each other, okay? Like, we don't even have time with each other anymore alone, because our son, the little 7-year-old devil, is always in the middle of us, you know what I mean? And so in every aspect of your life, that you have to find balance in your relationships, at your job, with your recovery, with social media. And I think like having date night with your husband is like a form of self-care, if you know what I mean. Like, okay, I have to talk to my husband and be like, can we please like lock the door and make Nate go to bed early or something? Because I miss my husband, because we were best friends, you know. We spent time together all the time before our son was born. Hey, Trippy. And so when Nate was born, it's like everything changed, you know. And then we both got sober, and that's another thing that really impacted our lives, is that we went from being strung out on methamphetamine, having sex like 15 times a night, I'm not even lying to you guys, to being sober and just being like struggling, you know what I mean? Like, also, we're both on Suboxone, and so that really inhibits our sex drive. And so, like, I was talking to him the other night, I said, are you attracted to me still? Do you love me? And he's like, I love you. And he feels bad because he's like, I don't know if it's because you're on a lower dose of Suboxone and I'm still on a higher dose. He's like, but I just don't get that feeling as much as I used to, you know? And so I totally understand, because I was the same way for a long time, but I went down on my Suboxone. So it's like coming back, you know what I mean? And don't ask me how. I totally went from balance to sex in like 2 seconds. But that's like my relationship, and it's important. It's an important part of my life. That's my husband, you know? So that's what I'm personally working on. I'm personally working on balance with my social media, and then communication with my husband, and making sure we have our time together, and being present. Hey, Micah, I am so bad about being present in the moment, because I spend so much time helping other people that a lot of the times I feel guilty about this too. God dang, I'm about to cry. I feel guilty because I want to help so many people. And then I feel like because I want to help other people, I ignore my family. And I don't mean to, you know, but my recovery is so important to me. And I've just relapsed so many times in the past. So many times. That I'm afraid for that to happen now. And so I feel horrible, you know. I have got to set boundaries, and I have to set times for my son to have time with me, just me and him. I don't think people understand. It's like when you work in recovery and you're helping people 24/7, a lot of the times that can bleed into your regular life. It's like there's never a time that I'm like off work. I'm on call 24/7. You know what I mean? And so I was on call during my vacation when I went to Branson last year. I was picking up the phone and answering it for people that were calling. Do you know what I'm saying? And so it's like I don't have any separation between my work and my life. There's no cutoff time of when I'm not working. And a lot of you guys will go, well, your job is like, it's easy, right? You talk to people and you help them find treatment centers and you help them find recovery. That's not that hard. It really is that hard. It's like I'm 24/7 in crisis mode with new people every single day, you know? And it takes a lot of effort to help people and to help them stay engaged in their own treatment, because a lot of people will say, I want treatment, I want to change my life, I want to do this, I want to do that, and then they'll fall off, you know what I mean? So I have to stay connected with them. And so it's not like, and I'm not talking about the people I do recovery coaching with, I'm talking about like my job. You know what I mean? Like my job where I answer the phones for Dr. B. It's like a lot of work talking to people, and it's a lot of work hearing each person's crisis every single day. You know, a lot of the people that call are people who are not even drug addicts. They're people who are struggling to get off of benzodiazepines. Lately here, it's been like an influx of phone calls, and I'm just like talking where I'll be on the phone with one person for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And they're just telling me about the first time they started getting benzos, how long they've been prescribed, and all these things. It's so much work. And so balance is hard for me to find. It's hard for me to disconnect from from my phone and from all those responsibilities. Then when I do disconnect, it's like you guys have no idea. I come back and I check my voicemails, and there's like 40 voicemails. And so it's almost like it's not worth it to disconnect from my phone, because then I have to play catch up. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm not complaining just by any means. I'm just trying to explain to you guys that like I'm struggling to find balance. You know what I mean? Like, damn, it is difficult to find balance when you are always helping people and people count on you. And I feel like I feel a responsibility to those people, you know? So anyways, it takes a lot of work. It's a lot of work to help people, you guys. It's not just like, oh, here, let me put you in a treatment center. This will be easy. There's all kinds of stuff that comes between it and before it, after it, and during it, and following up with those people to make sure they're doing okay. It's a lot of work, man. So what do you guys struggle with? Do you guys struggle with finding balance in your recovery? How do you guys separate your work from your home life? Or are you struggling to do the same thing? You know what I think there should be? I think that there should be like meetings for people who work in recovery to like unplug from their recovery job and just like have their own little like meeting, you know? Hey Christina, hey Vincent, I would love to help her on TikTok. Hey Trippy, thank you. Yeah, you guys, and I'm gonna tell y'all this too, like I'm real controlling, and so I don't really trust just like handing things over to people. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm very controlling when it comes to that kind of stuff. Yeah, so it is, that's like what I'm dedicated to doing, right? Like, so that, honestly, you guys, when I'm not helping people, I feel like I'm not doing anything. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm like slacking. Now, don't get me wrong, like I am like hella fucking into like my big book studies that I do, my meditations that I do, my praying, all those things help me stay sober every single day. But what I struggle with the most, like I said, is just feeling like I can't shut it off. Yes, I think it should, yeah, Mary, same. I think it should be other people that work in recovery in a group. Do you know what I'm saying? Because those people understand, you know, and they are going through the same thing. And I do know this though. I have watched many of my friends who have gotten jobs as counselors, certified alcohol and drug counselors, and they were doing really well and they were working in treatment and they relapsed because they were treating their job as their recovery, which they should have had a separate recovery away from their job. And so that's what that's what I am aware of, and I know that happens to people, and so I am highly aware of that, and that's why I have my own separate stuff, you know what I mean? Like the stuff I do for my recovery coaching is like totally separate from my job. Like it's just a way for me to connect with you guys, and we get to talk, and I make friends with you. We're friends, you know what I mean? And we have a good time. We have a little chat group and everything. Oh, Hannah and Rachel, yes. Well, that was hard, man. That was the worst thing that's ever happened in my recovery, trying to help somebody. I have never had anything that devastating happen. That was scary as fuck, you guys. Do you know what happened to me last night? Listen to this, y'all. Last night, I'm chilling, and I did the live stream last night, and then I get a phone call from a private number. And it was some person like acting like they were Spanish or something, you know, like, hola, Nicole. And I was like, who is this? So I just ended up hanging up in their face. But it was like so weird to me. Like, that's what people do. People get my number off my voicemail and then they call it because my voicemail is connected to the 1-800 number that's in my bio. And they'll call that, they'll get my real phone number, and then they'll start prank calling me. And it's just like, why would you do that? You're totally wasting time for me and somebody that could be getting help. Thanks, Christian. I know, it's because it's getting so long and dark, you guys. I really, like, the more I look at the dark part of it, I'm, like, really liking the dark hair. I make everybody mad 24/7, 7 days a week on this app. I know, Christina. It's like a, have you ever heard of stimming? It's like a stim that I do. Okay, so I'm not gonna dye it, you guys. I'm just gonna let it be natural because I love the dark. So lately here, let me tell you guys the new thing that people have been saying on my account lately is that I'm making them relapse because my account is so triggering. Yes, Christina, that's exactly what it is. It's a self-soothing thing. I've always done it ever since I was a little girl. And guess who does it also? My son. My son twists his hair. And it drives my mother-in-law crazy. I don't know why she's like, always tries to stop him from doing it. And I'm like, let him do that. But but lately here, because see, at first, you guys, I was taking it and I felt I was taking it seriously. But the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, that is such a gaslighting thing to do. Okay, that's like somebody just trying to blame their relapse on me. You guys, eventually we have to take responsibility for our actions. Okay, that would be like me saying, because I had a hard childhood, I started getting high, which that could be a trigger for it, but I have to learn how to take responsibility eventually. You know, I can't blame my addiction on everybody else. I have to take responsibility for the things that I did. And that's what I do now. Like, I have learned, they're trying to make, exactly, that's what it is. And here's the thing, you guys, I gotta wash my face. A lot of people know that I'm like really nice and sensitive, and they know that and they prey on that, because I am the kind of person that, like, you can point something out to that needs, say like, hey Nicole, you shouldn't do that, blah blah blah, and I'll actually listen and try to make a change. You know what I mean? And those people know that. They know that I'm like I'm a softie, you know? Which it sucks because people know that. Yes, I care, exactly. But my makeup did look good today, huh? What do y'all, how are all of you guys doing? Tell me about how everybody else is doing. I want to know how y'all's recovery is going. How long has everybody been sober? And if you are sober, how are you staying sober, and how do you find balance in your recovery? I'm so proud of you, Caitlin. That's amazing, girl. I'm really proud of you. 27 years. Damn, Gina. 3 weeks, Axel. That's amazing. I'm so proud of you too, Axel. 1 year and 6 months. Hey, Devil's Lettuce. Just like the damn stories, Krista says. 1 year and a month. Christian. Good, Justin. That's good. You got a new job. 1 year and 2 months. Good job, baby. 4 years for Nikki. 7 years for Mary. Been dreaming weird user dreams, but clearly, user dreams. 3 years, 3 months. I have using dreams too. 4 years. Good job, B-Love. You know when I have this looks bad. You know when I have using dreams, you guys? It's whenever I like go to bed and like I was telling a story time on here. I've noticed that. So like the other night I was on here and 9 months, good job girl, I was on here and I was telling a story time, right? About like some crazy shit that happened to me when I was with my ex-boyfriend LD. And so I went to bed that night, and the next thing I know, I am in my dream and LD's there. And all this 6.5 months, good job, man. All this shit's happening, right? Well, by the end of the dream, I'm injecting methamphetamine. And guess what happens? I'm injecting it, and then I wake up right when it goes in, okay? And so then when I wake up from the dream, I feel like I had just used, you know? Like it feels so strong. I cannot explain. It's the craziest thing how real it feels sometimes, you guys, whenever I'll have those using dreams. Because it just feels so intense. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I don't want to use. You know what I mean? So when I think I did, I always get scared. Because to me, using would be to just invite Child Protective Services to come take my son away from me. You know what I mean? And I like hate them. And so that makes me so scared anytime I even like think about it. Anytime I struggle, that's what I focus on, is them, thinking about them coming in my door, you know, because I had such a horrible experience with them. I don't ever want to go through that ever again. And a lot of people ask me, like, why do I tell stories and stuff like that? You guys, telling those stories helps me remember I don't want to go back to that life ever again. I am really one of those people that I have to constantly remind myself where I came from. One thing that I struggled with, and the reason why I always relapsed in the past, was because I would forget how bad it was all the time. All the time. I would forget, hey Kathy, 11 months and 21 days, good job girl. I would always forget how bad my addiction was and what it did to me. And that's why I would relapse. So now what I learned is that you have to keep it in the forefront, at least I do. Other people maybe not so much, but I have to, you guys. I have to keep that shit in my mind so that way I don't forget. Ooh, really, devil's lettuce? That's crazy. That's scary. September 22nd. 9 months. Good job, Zach. Yes. It just reminds me, like, my worst time in my addiction was the day my son got taken away, right? So, like, if I ever have a day where I'm, like, kind of thinking about, like, the old times, or I'm even kind of like, even just a little bit thinking about it being fun, then I think about my son being taken away from me, you know, and that shit, when I think about that, that snaps me out of it for real, because that was horrible, you know. It's called euphoric recall, you guys, okay? Hey, Zach. It's called euphoric recall. That's what it is. Okay? Euphoric recall is whenever your brain is like muscle memory to the bad things. Okay? And so when that happens, that's what your brain does. It goes back to the good times that you had on drugs. What do you mean putting Jordan's name up? What did I do? Did I do that? I don't know what I did, but if I did it, I'm happy I did it. I know that Ryan came on my channel and told his story and talked about his friend that passed away. Isn't that your brother? And that's on my YouTube channel now. And, oh gosh, anyways, my hair. Okay, I thought that was your brother. That made me so sad when Ryan told me that story, because it makes me sad. My channel's called Real Talk Recovery with Nicole. You quit ice? Good job. Good job. Man, I'm going to tell y'all something right now. Methamphetamine was hard for me, man. I enjoyed it so much back in the day. I really enjoyed the feeling of it, and the way it kept me skinny. As you can see, I struggle with my weight. That it was a hard drug for me to really stay away from, but I will never go back to that shit. It ruined my life, like for real. That and IV Roxy's ruined my life. I don't want to go back to that life ever again. And it's mainly because I'm a mom, you know. My son means so much to me, you guys. Yeah, I don't know why you guys do that when y'all come in here. Julie, your comment didn't come up, sweetheart. That's probably why you got ignored, because it didn't show up. I do not like it, Julie, just a warning. I hate when people come in here and say, I asked a question, but she's ignoring me. Because everybody in this chat knows that I am on it like white on rice when it comes to questions. And I'm probably one of those interactive creators there is when it comes to live streaming. So if you asked a question, and it's probably because it didn't come across. That's why nobody answered it. Yeah. Hey, Jackie. Yes, I filter out words. What is Roxy's? Roxy's is roxycodone. A lot of the kids call them Perk 30s now. Oh, you're welcome, man. Anytime. I love Ryan. I think he's amazing. I think he's hilarious. But yeah, if you guys come in here, I will answer your questions. But I can't, if I don't see them because they don't come across, then I can't answer it. You know. Do you prefer Thai food or Mexican food? Mexican. But I do like Thai food too. Hey, Angelina. Hey, dope ass bitch. What's up? My day's been good. What about you, girl? I know, people bust my balls on here, dude. One question I missed and they're like, you ignored me. No, I didn't. Your question didn't come across. Yeah, and words get filtered automatically, you guys. If you're talking about drugs, it won't come through. Damn, that's a lot of questions. Ryan's at the casino. Oh, shit. Is it the same as Oxy's? Yes, same as Oxy's. 30 milligram oxycodone. Yeah, the tiny light blue ones, you guys. The M30s, the M boxes. So that's how I got on opiates. Was when I got out of treatment in 2000, when I got out of prison in 2010, I paroled out to a sober living house. And once I got to the sober living house, I stayed there and I stayed sober for like 6 months. And then I moved into the apartments next door. Well, once I moved into the apartments, I relapsed, which I need to make, part 24 of my life story, because I'm right at the point where I relapsed and Joe comes over to my apartment. Hey girl, thanks for coming by and saying hi. Yeah, I'm sure Ryan is risking it for the biscuit. He's so crazy. I really like him a lot. Do you did he come out to you? Because he did here on TikTok. I'm sure he did to you if y'all are good friends. Which totally took me off guard, because I would have never guessed that he was you know, bi or into guys. No, not tonight. You guys, I can't find my big book. So we did meditation when we first got in here. And the meditation was about boundaries. So if any of you guys are wondering, that's what we had started to talk about. And then we moved into what we're talking about now, which is I'm just talking and answering y'all's questions and reading the comments and stuff. But boundaries. Boundaries is what we were talking about. And not boundaries, balance. But just basically the same thing. Oh, I'm trying to get my pants on. Oh. Balance. Which I don't have a very good balance right now. I don't know. Maybe I'm pretty sure he might have been joking. You know what, Zach? He probably was joking. And I probably took it as real. Oh, gosh, I take that bra off. Because you could never take him seriously. And I probably took him seriously and it was meant to be a joke. Yes, open conversation. Anything y'all want to talk about? Okay, pansexual. There you go, dope ass bitch. Thank you. Because listen, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Do y'all remember when he came on my live stream that one night? I just think he's the cutest thing. But not like in a disrespectful way, because I have a husband. You know what I mean? He's very funny. Very. I love him so much. I got sober in July of 2015. Hey, just for today, Amy. That's good, girl. I'm proud of you for getting back on track. That's all that matters. I know you guys have been noticing, like, I've been busting some people's balls that have been leaving comments that are just like, you know, if you're not offering people support, then don't comment. You know, I've been getting a lot of comments and seeing a lot of comments on some of the girls that I support that are on Suboxone and Methadone. And people will say to them, like, get off that shit. And, you know, that's not really recovery. And I hate when people do that because it's like, it's not supportive, you know? Do you know how hard it is to make the decision to get on MAT? Like, most people who get on it have been shamed for, you know, a long time. And so giving people a hard time, you know? No, I'm not off of them. It makes me sad when people are just busting people's balls like that. It's like, we know, and we tried it that way, you know? Whenever I tried to get sober, I tried every way possible to get sober, you guys. And so getting on Suboxone was like a last-ditch effort, you know what I mean? I got to get my hair cut tomorrow, for real. A lot of us, it was like our last chance at sobriety, you know? And so we don't need the judgment from people. You know? I hope y'all know what I'm saying. I don't have a problem now, but I used to. I used to be really ashamed of it. Damn, look at this banana, y'all. Holy shit balls. Oh, dirty. How did I make myself go to bed? Honestly, I was in rehab, man. And it was horrible anyway. I didn't sleep for 2 weeks. And that's the truth. It was hard. No, I used to smoke. I tried for like a couple months, but I was just I couldn't do it because I was smoking. I was eating too many edibles. The thing with me is I'm either like not going to do it at all, or I do too much. And so I tried medical marijuana edibles, and I couldn't stop eating them. I have PTSD from being raped. And for the longest time, you guys, when I first met my husband, I struggled with intimacy. Because of that. But I'll tell you this. I've healed from everything, you guys. Like, I really want y'all to hear me out. Everything that I went through, my addiction, PTSD, depression, anxiety, like, I want y'all to hear me when I say this. I have healed from that shit. Like, my life is so much better now. Is my life like 100% perfect? No. But when I tell you guys, like, probably the hardest things that I deal with today in my life is depression. Okay? And what do I mean by that? I get really, really, really bad depression in the winter time, like from fall to spring. And it'll be so bad that I like barely want to get out of the bed, you know? Zach, when I was younger, my best friend shot herself in the chest. And I'm talking, this girl was my best friend from like kindergarten to when she died. We were like 25. And after she did that, I mean, I couldn't breathe. It felt like forever. But you know what I did? Instead of like reaching out for help, I started shooting meth. And let me just tell you, that was not, no, she shot herself in the chest on purpose. That was not the thing to do. Like, I should have reached out for help and gotten to therapy and talked about it. But instead, I shot dope. And let me tell you, I 100% think that me doing drugs is what kept me alive through my depression. Because shooting drugs, as bad as it is, like, it kept my mind off of the bad shit that I was hurting in my heart because of. And just like after I got raped, I was shooting dope so much then. And it's like, that's how I survived. That's how I survived. I survived by getting high and running from the pain. You know what I mean? But here's the thing about it, about that, you guys. You can't survive and run from the pain forever, because eventually the thing that you are surviving, the dope, is going to turn against you, right? And that's what happened to me, is the dope turned against me, and I started hallucinating and seeing shit that wasn't there. And I started going into psychotic breaks. Okay, I started fucking going, I went into a coma. I was hallucinating all the time, dude. Like, every time I would get high, I would start hallucinating, like, damn near immediately. It was so bad, and it was no fun anymore. After I gave birth to my son, and I relapsed after giving birth to my son, I cannot tell you guys, every single time I got high, I was hallucinating. I was out of my mind. I was accusing my husband of having somebody underneath the bed, giving him head. Like, it was crazy, dude. And I would hallucinate and I would cry because I knew that what I was doing was wrong. I knew that my son needed me. I knew that I wasn't being a good mom, but I just couldn't stop. And now, 6 years later, which I want y'all to understand, like, I've been doing this for 6 years, okay? That's a long time to be staying sober. But what I'm saying is, like, I have gotten over the hump of the hard parts. Do you know what I mean? Like, 6 years in the grand scheme of things really isn't that long at all. But when you're comparing your first year to 6 years, it's a big difference. And so if I had to tell y'all what it was like in my first year, I didn't video camera myself in my first year. I didn't start recording myself in my recovery until I had 2 years sober. So that's all I can look back on those videos from like 3 or 4 years ago, but I don't have any videos of when I was 1 year sober, and so or earlier. But if I had to tell y'all what it was like back then, it was a mess. I cried every single day. I cried every single day, all the time, every time. I was crying all the time. It was hard, man. It was hard. And the thing about it was, I thought I was never going to get out of that. I thought I was never going to stop crying. And I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But you know what happened? I had people that had been sober longer than I had, and they were telling me, I promise you it's going to get better. I promise you it's going to get better, Nicole. And they would give me little timelines, like, watch, when you hit 6 months, you're going to feel so much better. Watch, when you hit 9 months, you're going to feel better. Watch, when you hit a year, you're going to feel better. And what I did was I just kept on believing them that I would feel better. And you know what? I did. Because it started getting easier for me to stay sober. And I stopped stressing out so much. And then, like, I got my job working for Hallmark, which was a really good job to me at the time. And so that made it really good. And then I got my job working for Dr. B. And then that was like the bomb. And then I was like, oh my God, like, now my life is complete. Now I get to work and help people. You know what I mean? And that really got me going. Like, because I love helping people. And I was doing it for free already on my YouTube channel and through my little recovery coaching classes that I do. But I wasn't doing it like, I wasn't getting paid to do it. Like, it wasn't my job. And I had always dreamed of my job being able to help people, you know? And so, and the thing about it was, my job, my dream had gotten shot down because here in Arkansas, I went to apply to be a peer support specialist. And they told me I couldn't be one because I was on Suboxone. And so I was so depressed. I was so sad because I was like, they're never going to let me work in recovery here in Arkansas. I'll never be able to help people in recovery as a job, right? And then my boss hired me, and I was like, fuck you, Arkansas. You know what I mean? And so, y'all, when one door closes, another one opens, honey. Arkansas shut the door on me, but California said, baby, we'll take you. You know what I mean? And that was like the best thing that ever happened to me. Because I was so upset, you guys, because all I want to do is be of service to people. I need to be able to be of service to people. And even if I didn't get a job doing it, I would continue doing it for free like I have always been. But I really, really, really wanted to work with others and help people, you know? And the job I have is perfect because I don't have to be a counselor. I'm not a therapist. I'm just like at the front lines. Like, I'm the front line of when people reach out to help, I'm the first person they talk to. And then I get them in to see the doctors and the therapists and the counselors. You know what I mean? And that's perfect for me because I can share with them my experience on what helped me, and I can help them make the best choice for themselves, which is the most amazing part about it. And so the reason why I'm telling you guys all this is because there was a time where I didn't think I was going to make it. You know what I mean? There was a time where, falling backwards, I didn't think I was going to make it. I didn't think I was going to stay sober. I was going to give up on myself, you know? And shout you out, Zach. What do you mean, Zachaholic? How do I shout you out? What's up, Golden Bear? Did you just call me an influencer? Holy shit. Holy shit, y'all. Am I really an influencer? Are y'all sure about that? Oh, Lord. If I'm an influencer, then oh, hell, shit, we're in trouble now, aren't we, guys? Well, I hope I'm influencing you guys to stay sober, you know, and that's what it was like for me. When I first was getting sober, I didn't think I was going to make it. And I want you guys to know that you might feel like that too. You might feel like, damn it, how does Nicole always look? This is what I always get, right? People always say to me, wow, Nicole, you look so happy all the time. You look like you have it all together. I don't. Please know that I don't, okay? But I just work really, really hard. I work really hard to stay sober because I don't want to lose my son. And I don't want to lose everything that I've worked so hard for. I want to help people and I don't want to die. My main priority, my main focus is staying sober. And then my son and my husband and my job. But I'm telling you, for the longest time, I did not think that I would make it. And I never in a million years thought I would be able to help anybody. I really didn't think I would. And so I'm telling you guys this because, damn, I'm emotional tonight. I'm telling you guys this because I remember when I felt like I wouldn't be anything. And I remember when I had lost everything all me and my husband had. We didn't even have bank accounts. We didn't have a bank account. We didn't own our own car. My husband was literally driving a car that We had wrecked so many times that his parents, you know, co-signed for. And we were living here in this house that my mother-in-law owns. And we had nothing. We didn't have jobs or anything, you guys. And our son had just gotten taken away from us. And me and my husband, we weren't even married yet when Nate got taken away. He got taken away in 2015, and me and my husband didn't get married until 2019. When our son got taken away, it was like, is this going to break us? Is this going to break our relationship? Are we going to make it through this, you know? And I thought, if I didn't know, you know, if Neil was going to get sober or if he was going to stay out whenever I was in treatment. And so I went into treatment, and of course he stayed out here in the free world, but he didn't make it very long, because the next thing I know, my father-in-law calls me at the detox center, and he's like, Neil had a nervous breakdown. Basically, he had a breakdown because he lost me and Nate. I was in treatment, and my son was in CPS care. And so my husband went into treatment too. He went into Bridgeway Treatment Center here in Little Rock. But I'm telling you guys this because I want y'all to know, all of you guys that are just getting started, I'm trying to explain to you guys that, like, I didn't have shit when I got sober. Nothing, okay? I had just lost my car about a year before that because it got impounded, right? I lost my car because it got impounded. I met my husband, we fell in love, and then we gave birth to my son in 2014. Hey, Crystal, good job, girl. Crystal, where have you been? Crystal Wright, I haven't seen you in forever. We had nothing, you guys, nothing. The support that we did have, dope ass bitch, was that my mother and father-in-law rented this house to us. So when I got out of treatment and my husband got out of treatment, my husband got a job immediately working for Kroger. And he started working, and then we paid them rent. So they probably let us like float the first 5 months. I think they let us live here for free. But after that, we started paying rent. So, you know, we were very fortunate to have them allow us to live here, you guys, or else we would be living in a little apartment, okay? And at that time, we had 5 dogs, okay? So we needed to have a house to live in. And so, with a backyard that was fenced in. My husband and his damn dogs, y'all. That's a whole nother story for another day. If it was up to my husband, we would pick up every damn stray off the side of the road and put a collar on them and call them our own. I mean, he's like damn Dr. Doolittle, talking to all the animals. I love animals too, but damn, when I ain't got the means, I ain't taking them. You know what I mean? But I thought me and my husband wouldn't make it through it. I didn't know if our relationship was strong enough. Good job, Michael. I see you 90 days clean. I'm proud of you, man. Oh, I would, Dirty Gert. I would totally help people. Hey, Pinky, what's up, girl? When I went into treatment and my husband had his nervous breakdown and he went into treatment, like, I didn't think we were going to make it. I thought he would leave me for sure. See, what y'all don't understand is that me and my husband came from 2 different kind of classes, right? My husband comes from a family that's real uppity. I don't want to say they're rich, but they're well off. Like, they say they're not, but they are. And then I came from like a regular middle class family. My dad was a mailman. My mom was a teacher, and we ain't rich. My parents work really hard for everything they have, right? And so when I met my husband, it was kind of like the odds were stacked against us, you know? And we were both drug addicts, and we were both really bad drug addicts. When we got together, it was like our drug addiction just fucking imploded, and we were just strung out to the max, dude. Like shooting meth, shooting oxys, eating bars. Bad. And so I thought my husband would leave me. I thought he would throw in the towel and take the easy way out, you know? Yeah, Pinky, same. But he didn't, and he got sober with me. You know, I've made a couple of videos about him relapsing last year. My husband did so well. I'm 39. I am 39 years old. For the first 3 years that we were sober, my husband stayed sober. He had no relapses. It was after that third year where he really started struggling. His dad passed away 1 year, and then he relapsed, and then he relapsed in the next year. And then this last year when COVID came, it was a shit show. When he relapsed last year, you guys, I didn't know if I was going to stay with him. That's how upset I was. No, honey, I got 1 more year till I'll be 40 years old. I didn't know if I was going to be able to stay with him because that's how serious I am about my sobriety. You know, I don't play around when it comes to staying sober. And so I didn't think he was going to get sober. I thought he was going to fucking say fuck you and stay out, you know. But he got sober. Now he's almost got 8 months, which I'm so grateful that he's almost got 8 months sober, because honestly, I could not handle it, y'all. I remember the last time he came home with drugs, not drugs on him, but he was high. I was crying and I was like, go get me some. Go get me some Xanaxes and come back and get me high. I want to get high. That's how upset I was, that I was like at my wit's end, about to break. And I'm telling you guys, I am so grateful that he did not go and get no bars and give them to me, because I would have threw away everything. Everything. My boyfriend of 4 years is parked in my daddy's yard. What happened? What happened? Me and my husband are a part of the 1% active addiction together. Now we're in recovery. Hell yeah. It took me 3 times overdosing to wake up, and I seen what it was doing to me. I didn't want that life. Absolutely. You know, we have to just get to a point, you guys, where we are tired of living like that. And people ask me this all the time. They say, Nicole, how can I help someone who doesn't think they need help? Those are the hardest ones. The ones that are in denial. Don't even know I'm lying. Don't even know I'm loaded. Those are the hardest ones to help, okay? But I'm telling you guys, if you can sit down with somebody who is struggling and they think they don't need help, and you can sit down with them and you can talk to them and you can get them to reflect on their life and kind of just ask them this. Say, I want you to share with me how your life, how drugs and alcohol have influenced your life, how they have changed your life. And if they can step back and look at their life and realize the chaos, the harm, the devastation that drugs and alcohol has caused their life, then you might have a fighting chance with their motherfucking asses. Okay? That's what I always sit down with every person that I ever work with. I always sit down with them and I tell them, write me a paper and tell me, I want to know, how has your life been negatively impacted by drugs and alcohol? If they're a person that's like, oh, I don't do drugs, I'm just on alcohol. Okay, I want to know, how has your life been negatively impacted by alcohol? Some people don't even realize that their life has been impacted by alcohol. I was talking to one of my girls today, and she was telling me some stories about getting a DWI and a DUI. And I said, well, girl, that's how alcohol was negatively impacting your life. And she said, you know what? I never thought of it like that. See, a lot of people don't even think like that. They don't even get outside of themselves enough to identify that there is a problem, okay? So if you can step outside of your situation for a second and look at yourself from someone else's point of view, from the outside looking in, okay? Someone who is banging meth every day and taking Adderall to get up in the morning, go to work, and be productive, how manageable of a life is that? For those of you guys that were functioning addicts, how functioning are you if you have to drink a pint of vodka every day to get your engine moving, right? How productive are you if you are taking Xanax bars to get through your life? Do you know what I'm saying? To function through life. It's like, that's no way to live. You know, that's taking away from the presence. You being present in your life. You being able to feel what's really going on. Like, I was so out of touch with reality for so many years. Like, I honestly cannot believe how out of touch I was and how fucked up I was 24/7. 7 days a week, dude. Fucked up. Out of my mind. I was hallucinating and floating on another fucking planet 24/7. Like, honestly, you guys, sometimes I think back to that time in my life, and I can't. The only way that I could have managed back then was being high, because I was staying in houses that had no running water and no electricity. We would dig a hole outside to take a shit in it. I had to be high to live like that. I had to be fucked up. Okay, there was one point in my life where I was fucking my drug dealer for free drugs. Okay, and we were living in this hood-ass trap house out in North Little Rock. I had to be high. I had to be high to fucking stay there for that long. That was some shit right there. You know what I mean? Whew. Lord, I had to be out of my mind. It was like I was living in a third world country, y'all. That's how fucking nasty that shit was. There was a point when I was living in a trailer once, and the only thing I did was fucking do dope, methamphetamine, all day long, and watch the fucking TVs of this damn security system the dude had hooked up around the trailer. Okay? I had to be high to live like that. Sure, Reagan, what's your question? I had to be checked out of life. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of people who are not drug addicts, who are like moms and dads of addicts, you guys think, oh my God, how can my kid live like that? How can my kid be in that place like that? I raised them right. I raised them differently than that. How could they live like that? Oh, I'll tell you how they live like that. It's because they're high as hell. You know, when you are getting high like that, all your standards go to the wayside, man. All your morals and values completely crumble. Okay? I mean, for a while I had some values and morals, but the longer you stay doing drugs, the lower they get. The lower your standards get. But I'll tell you all this. Now that I'm sober and I've went down that stepping stool to basically not giving a fuck where I live, now I am so grateful. Now I can make something out of nothing. I could decorate a little one-bedroom efficiency and make it my home. I could decorate a little shack and make it my home. Because you know what? I've lived like that before. I've been down and out and not had shit. And now I am so grateful. Well, I don't know what part of the brain it is, Golden Bear. But if you say so, I believe you. The amygdala and the prefrontal cortex, I believe you. Yes, yes. Exactly, Addict Mom. I am so grateful. And we get to live 2 lives in 1 lifetime. Okay? That's what it is. We get to live, yes ma'am, Ms. Granola. We get to live 2 lives in 1 lifetime. And I'm telling you, the size of a pea, was it white or off white color? Crack. Crack cocaine. Yes, yes, the brain is hijacked. Yes, I believe, yes, that's true. You guys, I'm telling you though, like, that's one thing. We are so fortunate though. Listen to me, okay? Being a drug addict is a gift. It's a gift. Because we have been down. Yeah, it could be crack cocaine. It could be heroin. Back in the day, whenever I used heroin, it was an off-white tannish color. It wasn't black tar heroin. I can tell you what you can do. Is it sticky and has like, it's like oily, and when you touch it, it leaves the black stuff on your fingers? Yeah, Alicia Gregory, it's so hard, girl, because we can't save anyone. We have to allow them to get to a point where they want help, you know? I'll tell you guys the thing here, okay? One of the hardest things for me is when I have somebody that I'm trying to help that is just keeps on relapsing, right? It's hard for me because I just want to shake them and be like, don't you know what you're doing is going to kill you? But it's like, I can't do that to them. You know, all I can do is not judge them. Let me tell you all this. If I ever work with you and you're relapsing, I'm never going to judge you. Okay? Sure, I might be disappointed in you, but that's because I care about you and I want you to succeed. But I'm never going to judge you or make you feel small because you fall back. I relapsed so many times, you guys. So many times. Over 50 times, you know? And that's why I tell you guys, like, if you're someone who is struggling with opiate addiction and you've tried time and time again to get sober, please reach out and get on Suboxone or methadone. It will save your life. Stop worrying about what people think and just get on the MAT. It was the best decision I ever made in my whole entire life, dude. I had been trying to get sober for so many years and kept failing for so long. The moment I got on MAT, dude, it saved my life. It was like so simple. It was that easy. I should have done it all along. All along, man. I wish I had done it all along. It makes me so mad that I didn't do it sooner. I mean, if I had done it sooner, I would be so much farther in my life. Like, it's just so dumb to me that I let other people's judgment affect me. But that's what happens, y'all. That's what happens. We let other people's judgment and their opinions affect us, and we don't get the help we need. Hey, Diana, what's up, girl? It's like, y'all, it's such an easy decision to make. I don't care what anybody says on the internet. There's so many know-it-alls here on TikTok who think they know everything. They don't know shit. You know, I have lived so many lives because of drug addiction. Okay? I have been down in the fucking slums, all right? I have shot dope for years. And I'm telling you,